Every day is a special day. Do you know today is the National Periodic Table Day? I believe that if you have a little exposure to chemistry, you will know how important the periodic table is. Today, we are going to explore the history of elements and the periodic table. A long time ago, humans all over the world have started to discuss what the world is made of. Interestingly, their insights were quite similar. Indian proposed Mahabhuta, Chinese proposed Wuxing, Greek proposed Stoicheion. I hope I pronounced that not too bad. They all refer to 4 or 5 elements, and you can see the substances they mentioned are quite alike. This is far cry from the modern periodic table. Let's move on to 1669. Hildebrand, a German alchemist, discovered phosphorus by heating concentrated urine. Yes, urine. This is his thinking process.
Urine is gold in color. Maybe I can distill gold from it.
You know, alchemy at that time believed worthless materials can transmute to noble metals, particularly gold. Of course, he didn't obtain gold. However, he obtained some glowing white substances, phosphorus. This made him be the first person to discover a chemical element on record. Moving forward to the 18th century, French chemist Antoine Lavoisier defined an element as the smallest unit of a substance and cannot be broken down. His finding arguably overthrew the ancient Greek 4 elements principle. He decomposed water into hydrogen and oxygen. He also lists over 30 simple substances in his book, such as mercury, zinc, and sulfur. His contributions to chemistry earned him the honor of being the father of modern chemistry. After a lot of hard work, we have the list. As more elements are discovered, people believe there is a relationship between elements. Many chemists try to organize them. British chemist John Dalton introduced the atomic theory and arranged the elements by atomic weight. German chemist Johann Wolfgang Döbereiner noticed certain elements, usually 3 in a group, shared similar chemical properties. For instance, lithium, sodium, and potassium react vigorously in water. He put them in groups called triads, but there are a lot of remaining elements that cannot be categorized. British chemist John Newlands proposed the law of octaves, which state that every 8th element reacts similarly, just like the octaves of music. However, not all the elements show similar properties, and sometimes he put 2 elements into one box. His statement was not accepted and was ridiculed. Why not just put the elements in alphabetical order? German chemist Lothar Meyer illustrated periodic relationships, was a pioneer in the creation of the early periodic table. Dmitri Mendeleev was born in a village of Siberia in 1834. Without Maria Dmitrievna Mendeleeva, her mom, Mendeleev's talent might be buried in the cold wind of Siberia. Not only she successfully gave birth to Mendeleev, she also had a good eye for her children. She had 14 children, but only took Mendeleev for better education. They have a long trip across Russia from Siberia to Moscow. Moscow University rejected the application, so they went back to Siberia. No, just kidding. They didn't back home. Her mother brought him to St. Petersburg to continue his study. After that, he became a professor there as well. The story of his discovery of the modern periodic table now begins. Other chemists tried to group the elements either by their atomic weight or properties. Mendeleev combined both methods. One day, he was writing a textbook for his student and wanted to arrange the 63 to 64 elements found at that time. It is said that Mendeleev loved playing cards since childhood. He made a pack of cards and wrote an element together with its atomic weight and properties on each card. He kept arranging the card to find a logical pattern. Rumor is that he did that for 3 days and 3 nights without sleeping. Then, he couldn't bear to fall asleep. Miraculously, the elements were started to arrange in his dream. He got up excitedly and wrote it down immediately to recreate the image in his dream. Actually, at the same period, someone else such as Lothar Meyer created a similar list. So, what made Mendeleev referred to as the father of the periodic table? It is his confidence. He did a bold prediction. When he found an element not falling to the supposed periodicity, he left a gap there. In the end, he left 4 gaps and postulated the gaps are existing elements that have not yet been found. This is his first published table, and you can see the question marks. He didn't stop there. He even tried to predict the characteristics of these missing elements and give them the name of Aker boron, Aker aluminium, Aker silicon, and Aker manganese, because they are right under that element in the table. As you can see in his revised edition 2 years later, it looks more like our today's periodic table. But at first, people didn't take his assumption seriously until a few years later, in 1875, French chemist Paul-Émile Lecoq de Bois-Brandran discovered a new element and named it gallium. Gallium is located under the aluminium in the periodic table. In other words, Aker aluminium. Let's compare Mendeleev's prediction and the actual properties of gallium. You can see he got the atomic mass, density, description of melting point all right. Now, people cannot ignore Mendeleev's table. Do you remember Aker boron, Aker silicon, and Aker manganese? They are now scandium, germanium, and technetium. Yes, he again predicted them right. The atomic mass, the density, the boiling melting point, appearance, reactivity, the properties of its oxide and chloride. Aker manganese, which is now named technetium, is even not discovered in nature, but by synthesis in a particle accelerator. It was discovered 66 years after Mendeleev's prediction. It is like an exam paper with missing questions, but you still get the answer. Although there are still some mistakes compared to today's periodic table, such as we arrange elements by atomic number nowadays, but that's the draft of the modern periodic table. Mendeleev could not succeed without the efforts made by his predecessors. Who is the first person of the periodic table is a tough question, but the courage of Mendeleev and how hard he tried to promote his idea is undeniable. It is a pity he died from influenza in 1907 and didn't win a Nobel Prize. We can still see his name in the periodic table. The element 101, Mendeleevium, is named after him. I'm PK Catcher. See you next time.